Hey everyone, for today's lesson, this is April 2nd, 2021, we are going to just take our first look at natural selection. Natural selection is the vehicle or the means through which uh, genetic material is selected by nature to be more of an advantage depending on habitat, predators, supply of food, all of those kind of things that go into allowing an organism to survive in a certain area. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using this PhET simulation, and we're just going to do the intro part for today. So you're just going to click on the intro with the two bunnies. You're going to start with a single bunny here. We have some food supply, which is this green plant material, and we are in this sort of desert environment with a brown background. So we're going to go ahead and start by just adding a mate. And what you're going to see is our population is currently at 2. And we're just going to let these bunnies do their thing. Bunnies tend to reproduce pretty rapidly. And then we can go ahead and we can add a mutation. Let's go ahead and make the dominant trait now being brown fur. And there's a mutation that's going to occur. That is just a random change in the genetics within a population. And you notice now that the brown bunnies are beginning to multiply also. We're going to add some wolves now. And we're just going to see what happens when we introduce a predator here. And you'll see that pretty rapidly the wolves are going to be taking down many of the bunnies. And if you look at the population there, it now seems like nature is selecting brown fur to be an advantage. You can see there are now more brown fur bunnies than there are white fur bunnies. And we can make the inference that the brown fur bunnies are better camouflaged than the white fur bunnies. And therefore, nature is again selecting that trait to become the most common trait within the population of our bunnies here. And now, if we go ahead and, well, the bunnies have taken over the world. Okay, when that happens, just go ahead and click off of that, and you'll start over. And some other things you can do here is to change the background. So now we're in a snowy environment. We'll go ahead and add a mate, and you see that we have the white bunnies here. And you might be able to see that white bunnies tend to blend in pretty well. We go ahead and add a mutation. Let's go ahead and make the brown fur the recessive trait, meaning it's going to be less common, happening about 25% of the time when the white bunnies mate. They should have a brown furred bunny. And we'll just kind of repeat what we did on the last one. We'll give them another generation or two. So up here is this little clock that lets you know we're going into, now we're in generation 4. And I'm going to go ahead and add the wolves now because we don't want to have the bunnies take over the world yet. You see there's just a few brown bunnies. But with the wolves there now, we just have a single brown bunny hopping around there. And pretty soon the bunnies have taken over the world. So your job basically is going to be to start by just exploring and seeing what all of these parameters do. You can limit the food, which you'll find out will limit the population of bunnies because they do need food. We can make the brown become the dominant trait. So essentially, you're just going to be playing around with all the parameters here on this introduction, and then you are going to be filling in some answers to some questions on a formative around this. Okay, we can introduce the wolves, and we should find that the brown bunnies get eaten more rapidly than the white bunnies here in the white background.